In the quaint town of Eldoria, nestled between rolling hills and ancient forests, the air was thick with the scent of blooming jasmine and the whispers of untold stories. Eldoria was a place where history clung to every cobblestone and ivy-covered wall, where legends were as much a part of the landscape as the towering oaks that lined its streets. It was here that Elara Wren had spent her entire life, a young woman of 22 with a secret as old as the town itself. Elara possessed a gift, or perhaps a curse, that set her apart from everyone she knew. Since childhood, she had the ability to see glimpses of the past when she touched certain objects. These visions came unbidden, fragmented and fleeting, like shards of a broken mirror reflecting moments long gone. A brush against an antique locket might reveal a tearful farewell, while grasping an old key could unveil a hidden doorway swinging open in a time long past. Elara had learned to control her reactions, to hide the sudden intakes of breath or the widening of her eyes, when a vision struck. She feared the label of witch or madwoman that might follow if her ability were discovered. So she kept her secret close, sharing it with no one, not even her closest friends. Eldoria was a town steeped in legends, but none was more captivating or mysterious than the tale of the Haverford Mansion. Perched on a hill overlooking the town, the mansion had stood abandoned for over a century, its once grand facade now crumbling and overgrown with ivy. According to local lore, the Haverford family, who had been among the town's founders, vanished without a trace one stormy night, leaving behind only rumors of a hidden artifact, a relic said to possess immense power. Some claimed it could bring prosperity and protection to Eldoria, while others whispered it held a darker purpose. The legend had grown over the years, fueled by occasional sightings of ghostly figures drifting through the mansion's broken windows or along its shadowed corridors. Recently, the whispers had grown louder. More frequent sightings of spectral apparitions had stirred both fear and curiosity among the townsfolk. Some dismissed it as superstition, but others believed the legends were coming to life. Elara, with her unique connection to the past, felt an inexplicable pull toward the mansion. Her visions had been more frequent lately, often featuring fleeting images of the Haverford family. A woman in a flowing gown, a man with a stern countenance, children playing in sunlit rooms now choked with dust and decay. She couldn't shake the feeling that the mansion held answers not only to the town's mysteries but to her own as well. Determined to uncover the truth, Elara decided to investigate. She began by visiting the town's library, poring over old newspapers and historical records. It was there that she first encountered Kaito Nakamura, a newcomer to Eldoria. Kaito was a young man of 24, with sharp features and an air of quiet intensity. He had moved to the town with his family just a few months prior, seeking a fresh start after his father's passing. Kaito's family hailed from a culture rich in traditions honoring ancestral spirits, and he carried with him a deep respect for the unseen world. Their meeting was serendipitous. Elara was struggling to decipher a faded map of the Haverford estate when Kaito approached, offering assistance. His knowledge of ancient scripts and symbols passed down through generations proved invaluable. Despite their different backgrounds, they found common ground in their curiosity about the mansion and its secrets. Elara was initially hesitant to trust Kaito, wary of revealing too much about herself. Similarly, Kaito was cautious, still adjusting to life in a new country and the expectations placed upon him to uphold his family's traditions. Yet, as they delved deeper into the legend, their partnership blossomed. Kaito shared stories from his culture about spirits and the importance of honoring one's ancestors, while Elara, though guarded, began to open up about her interest in the town's history. Together, they pieced together clues from old documents and maps, leading them to believe that the artifact was indeed real and hidden somewhere within the mansion. One crisp autumn evening, they decided to explore the Haverford Mansion. The air was thick with anticipation and a hint of danger as they approached the wrought iron gates, now rusted and ajar. The mansion loomed before them, its windows like dark eyes watching their every move. Elara felt a shiver run down her spine, but she pushed forward, driven by a need to understand her visions and the truth behind the legend. Inside, the mansion was a labyrinth of decaying grandeur. Dust motes danced in the beams of their flashlights, and the floorboards creaked ominously underfoot. As they navigated the winding corridors, Elara's hand brushed against a banister, triggering a vision. A young girl in a white dress running up the stairs, laughter echoing through the halls. She gasped, and Kaito turned to her, concern etched on his face. "Are you all right?" he asked. Elara nodded, forcing a smile. "Just the atmosphere. It's a bit overwhelming." They pressed on, eventually reaching the grand ballroom. Moonlight filtered through the cracked, stained glass windows, casting colorful patterns on the floor. In the center of the room stood a grand piano, its keys yellowed with age. Kaito approached it, his fingers hovering over the keys. He played, a soft melody, the notes hauntingly beautiful in the silence. Suddenly the temperature dropped and a chill swept through the room. Elara's breath came out in visible puffs, and she felt a presence, something otherworldly. Then they saw them. Translucent figures materializing around the piano, swaying to the music. The Haverford family, or what remained of them, trapped in a spectral dance. Elara's heart raced. She had seen ghosts in her visions, but never so vividly in the present. Kaito, however, remained calm. He continued playing, his eyes closed, as if communing with the spirits. When the music stopped, the figures faded, but one lingered, a woman with sorrowful eyes. "Help us," she whispered, her voice like the rustling of leaves. "Break the curse. Find the artifact." Then she was gone. Elara and Kaito exchanged looks, the weight of the task settling upon them. They knew they had to find the artifact, not just for the town's sake, but to free these trapped souls. The next few days they intensified their research, combining Elara's visions with Kaito's knowledge of spiritual rituals. Elara finally confided in Kaito about her ability, fearing his reaction. To her surprise, he accepted it without judgment, sharing that in his culture such gifts were revered, not feared. "Your ability is a bridge between worlds," he said. "Together, we can use it to uncover the truth." Their bond deepened as they faced various challenges within the mansion. They encountered locked doors that required solving riddles from the past, hidden passages revealed only through Elara's visions, and even malevolent entities that tested their resolve. Through it all, they supported each other, learning to trust not only in their abilities but in each other. One particularly harrowing night, they found themselves trapped in the mansion's basement, surrounded by shadows that seemed to whisper threats. Elara's fear of being discovered and ostracized resurfaced, paralyzing her. Kaito too grappled with his own demons, the pressure to honor his father's memory and the fear of failing his family. In that moment of vulnerability, they shared their deepest fears. Elara spoke of her loneliness, of feeling like an outsider, even in her own town. Kaito revealed his struggle to balance his heritage with the demands of a new life. Their honesty forged a connection stronger than any magic, and together, they found the courage to push through the darkness. Finally, after weeks of searching, they uncovered the artifact, a crystalline orb hidden within a secret chamber beneath the mansion. As Elara touched it, a flood of visions overwhelmed her. The Haverford family, desperate to protect the town from a looming disaster, had bound their spirits to the orb, sacrificing themselves to contain a malevolent force. The curse was not one of malice but of protection. The artifact held the power to heal or destroy depending on the intent of its wielder. To lift the curse and free the spirits, they needed to perform a ritual that honored both the Haverford family's sacrifice and Kaito's ancestral traditions. Under the light of a full moon, atop the hill where the mansion stood, Elara and Kaito conducted the ritual. Elara channeled her visions to communicate with the spirits, while Kaito recited incantations passed down through his family. The air crackled with energy as the orb began to glow, its light enveloping the mansion. In a burst of radiance, the spirits of the Haverford family appeared one last time, their faces serene. "Thank you," the woman whispered before they faded into the night, finally at peace. With the curse lifted, the mansion seemed to sigh in relief, its oppressive atmosphere dissipating. The next morning, the townsfolk noticed a change. The air felt lighter, the shadows less foreboding. Word spread of the mansion's transformation, and soon the community came together to restore it, turning it into a cultural center that honored both the town's history and the diverse backgrounds of its residents. The artifact, now inert, was placed in a museum within the mansion, a symbol of unity and resilience. Elara and Kaito's friendship became a testament to the power of understanding and empathy, bridging cultural divides and personal fears.